Good morning from the park. I just wanted to show you. I live in Oregon. If you don't know me, I'm Dame on Dame's Place. And this is our park in Oregon. This is near Western University. And look at the size of these beautiful trees. They have a name in it, and it leaves me now. They're named. But aren't they beautiful? And here's the park. I like to do the old world Tartaria stuff. They kind of say, you know, that kind of time frame. And this is our amphitheater. Look how pretty this is. I don't know how old it is. It looks really like it's from the 60s. But I imagine, like everybody, don't you think that these served a purpose? Maybe they'd say gathering water, you know, now it would collect or something. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it a little deeper. But all these old parks and stuff that have all the old water. I wonder how many fountains were here, you know, at one time, because these trees have been here forever. And there's a fountain there. Oh, it's not on. Look at that. That's regularly a fountain, and the water's on, but maybe they shut it off in the winter. All right, those are just a few thoughts that I had. I guess I could take a walk over here on that. Let's walk over towards that. I talk a lot in the garden about ways to be healthy and get through stresses, and I learned a lot of that. I was a bartender in a bar for 10 years. Then I worked in a hospital in the radiology department, and then I worked in a prison for 15 years. So you could be here because maybe you saw a comment I made or something, or maybe it's just by chance and the algorithm is blessing me with showing some good stuff to you. So however that goes, I'm just going to show you this statue here in Oregon. This is Monmouth, Oregon, right here. It's pretty cool. So, little look around, I guess. That's our main street. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So just an off the cuff. Anyway, through all those things, all those jobs, I thought I could help people, especially people without a lot of a voice when you're really low on the totem pole at work, which I always was. You know, I was the bartender, some kind of, you know, you're in charge of the restaurant at that point, but your customers are always right, you know. So, and the bosses were always right. My favorite boss, you know, the guy that owned the place, his name was Trigger, and I put him in one of my top favorite bosses. And you know, no, you couldn't believe it, but he was real good to me and a lot of people. He was charitable from the bottom of his heart, and so were his friends that took care of me, you know, financially when I was a bartender. And then the hospital was, you know, I wouldn't want to work in a hospital. I feel so bad for people that work in hospitals. It's just a nightmare, especially now. It was a nightmare when I was there, and it was 20 years ago more. So that's where I come from, and I cook. I've trained by people that I knew, people's moms and stuff, and Trigger, and I worked in a pizza shop for like 5 years, a pizzeria, so I learned to make pizzas and wings and subs and stuff. So that's when I do the food and stuff to show you those things. And everybody's mom, my mom died when I was little, everybody's mom would take me under their wing and show me how they cook, because I always loved to cook. And so that was how I learned that. And my grandmother was alive until I was in my 20s. She was an excellent cook. So was my Aunt Punk. They taught me how to cook. I didn't learn anything at home. No home training like that. Like a woman's home training. I had none of that. But my grandma took care of me really well, and she was an amazing woman. She was a cotton picker when she was a little girl in Alabama, and she went to a CCC camp in Pahokee, Florida, and they took a bus there, her whole family, and I'll tell stories about that, but it was harrowing. But she said it was a vast improvement to picking cotton in Alabama and picking citrus down in Florida. So, that's it today. I keep doing little backgrounds, so just maybe you'll hear something that strikes you as like similar to your story, because the more you look, the more you realize we're trying to heal our generational traumas, you know, and that no one talks about in your family, or at least mine, and how difficult it can be. But you can do it. You can do it. Everybody's gone through it now real bad, so just keep up, keep trying. And keep looking at the trees. Give them a hug. I'm going to give this tree a hug right now. Right now. Hug. Hug. Hug the tree. I think I beep when I hug the tree. So have a good one, y'all. Peace.